Hello everyone, welcome back to Grace Church and to a special edition of Views of Grace. I haven't seen you for a while, at least doing this kind of thing, and we've missed our tours. It was a lot of fun to do. I've heard from so many people that you enjoyed the tours and the Views of Grace. So we have a few more up our sleeves that we will bring you. This one I'm particularly excited about because it focuses on something that struck me the very first time I came into Grace Church, and that was the vast amount of angels that are represented here in the building. Angels have widespread appeal, obviously to Christians and those of us in the Christian tradition, but even beyond, they are in some way a marvelous, non-threatening way to connect the church to the larger world, where somebody might not put a cross on their nightstand, they might be willing to have a photo or a statue of an angel. These mystical creatures that we read about in the Bible, in all different manners, sometimes terrifying angels that come down with bad news or big news, the sweet angels that announce the birth of Christ, all sorts of things. So what I want to do today, David and I will do, is to take you on a tour of some of the angels here at Grace. What I've chosen to do is focus on the angels that are attached. In other words, that are represented in stained glass, in tile, in carved wood, carved stone, or painted onto a surface of the building. So there are angels in some paintings that hang on the wall. There's some angels on our processional cross, for example, things like that. We're not focusing on those today. It's really the ones that are attached to the building. And we'll do it sort of by section of the building. So I'll tell you at the beginning that there are over 120 angels in this space. And so there are a lot. You probably didn't know there were that many. And we're going to do the building by section. We're going to start here in the chancel. But before I point out our own angels, I want to say a word about one of my favorite buildings in the world, besides Grace Church, of course, Lincoln Cathedral, where had we not had a pandemic, just a few weeks ago, our choristers, members of our adult choir, David and I would have all been at Lincoln Cathedral singing daily services. I've had the opportunity to do that with another choir, and it's one of the most extraordinary cathedrals in the world. And at Lincoln Cathedral, Bishop Hugh, who was a late 12th century bishop, was immortalized in the 13th century when they built, this is what we call our chancel, and they have the chancel, or the choir, they call it, and they called it St. Hugh's Choir, and it was also known as the Angel Choir. And it was known as the Angel Choir because at the very top of the spandrels of all the big windows around the chancel or the choir are carved stone angels playing instruments, and it's a marvelous space to be in and to sing in. So hopefully in the future we'll get to make that trip. So we have a little bit here in our chancel, a little bit of our own St. Hugh's Angel Choir. And we'll focus a little bit on some wood carving and also on the window. So David, why don't we actually, let's start with the window. We'll move up here. In the chancel windows, there are 32 angels. I've counted numerous times. I could be wrong, but I think they're 32. The most obvious, perhaps, are the two on either side of the triptych. Wonderful small windows with angels kneeling, facing in towards the triptych, set in their own little stone Gothic window surrounds. Really, really lovely. Those actually open into a hallway, and so there's not natural light behind them. Some natural light, but nothing direct. So they have lights behind them, so we can control that. And the window, so we might call our great east window, if we were talking liturgical directions, our great east window, many, many angels. I won't detail them all. At the top of the window, across the top sections, there are many small angels in those small sections. There are some angels that are part of some of the biblical stories that you see happening below, some of the scenes from the life of Christ. The disciples sleep in the garden, of course, and an angel in the corner. But there are two angels, two of my favorite angels, actually four, at the seat of Christ enthroned. So in the center panel of the window, at the bottom, we have Christ on the cross with Mary and John. Above that, we have Christ enthroned in majesty. And there are four angels below Christ, sort of kneeling at Christ's feet, two of them swinging golden thuribles, and the two beyond, in a reverent position looking up at Christ. We'll show you a close-up of this on our Grace Church banner at the back of the nave, which is made from the image of this window. So lots of angels frolicking there. And then here in the triptych, carved by Ernest Pellegrini of Boston. We talked about this in our chancel tour and sanctuary tour. Two beautiful angels holding a banner, "Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye here looking up into heaven?" This, of course, is the ascension of Christ, and beautifully carved and painted angels with relatively serene faces and beautiful golden wings. Some of you know that I'm very partial to gold, and so I hope if I ever get to be an angel, I get gold wings. So another way that angels are represented in our life together, our liturgical life together, are the symbols of the evangelist, and we've talked a little bit about those in the past. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John each have their own symbol. So St. Matthew's symbol is an angel, or a cherub, or a winged man. All the gospel symbols are winged. The winged lion, the winged bull, the winged eagle, of course. But in effect, Matthew's symbol is an angel or a cherub. So here carved in stone, we have yet another angel. This is for St. Matthew. Really beautifully done. And if you're sitting way out in the nave, you probably can't even tell this is here, but it's good to come up and see it. In the floor, in this beautiful groovy tile, in the floor here, we have the evangelist represented again, and of course the top corner here is Matthew with Matthew's winged angel. And then what makes this sort of an angel choir, as it were, are our own carved musical angels here. So this angel is holding a scroll with some upside down musical notes. Not sure the person who carved it was a musician, but that's all right, it's beautifully carved. Wearing a really beautiful vestment here. So there are 4 of these angels, 2 holding the scrolls and singing, and 2 playing trumpets. We'll visit the trumpeting angel in just a minute. We're going to cross the chancel now. We talked about in our chancel tour, we talked about the sedilla, or these seats where the presiders at the Eucharist would sit. And I believe you may remember on that side we have bishops carved in between the sedilla. Here we have angels. We have an angel here and an angel here, and they are swinging thuribles again. It seems to be a common theme. We've talked about that. It's a little kind of funny here at Grace, but more thuribles with angels, and their beautiful carved wings. It's a little hard to see, but the wings are along the back here like this. All of this carving that you're seeing here in the sedilla and along the angel we showed you on the wall, all of this was carved and installed in 1912 in the Ralph Adams Cram edition, the new chancel edition. All of this wonderful woodwork was done then. So David, let's cross over. Maybe we can get a close-up of the trumpeting angel. Golden halo behind his or her head. Someday, if we maybe are able to have a little bit better lighting, it would be wonderful to have these angels actually lit from above so we could see them a little bit better. So we'll conclude our chancel part of the angel tour. I guess we have one more angel really sort of on the edge here, David. Maybe we can make our way down here to the pulpit. And we get another St. Matthew here at the front of the pulpit. So we have the wings, the winged man there, or winged woman, or winged person, angel, aka angel, carved in beautiful Tennessee marble, my home state, my former home state. Rhode Island is my home state now. So to summarize, in the chancel there were 32 angels in windows, 6 carved angels, and 6 carved angels, 4 on the walls, and then 2 in the tiles that we looked at there as well, including this one. So 6 and 8 is almost 40 angels in the chancel alone. So we're going to start to make our way around the nave now. Just a few other quick words I'll say. We're planning another tour of just the windows. So today I'm going to just be pointing out angels, not talking so much about what they're doing in the windows, but I will say this. Overall, the angels are doing 2 things in the windows, one of 2 things. They're either decorative, set at the top of the window, just overseeing what's happening, just as a decorative element, or they're in the window taking part in the action. We'll talk more about in our window tour specifically about that, but I'll reference it as we go along. But before we hit the windows, we're going to talk we have one more carved angel here. Two more carved angels, sorry. Not sure, we definitely talked about this in our tour, this wonderful plaque of the Madonna, stone plaque. I can't quite tell if it's marble or stone. Was gifted to the church back in the mid 20th century, 1950s, by a parishioner who bought it in Europe and brought it over. I think it's quite old. We don't know for sure, but we think it's in the hundreds of years old. And we have Mary, the Queen of Heaven, holding the Christ child on her lap. Mary's a very strong, I love this because she's a very strong person here. And on either side, we have angel cherubs holding back the curtains, or holding, actually probably part of Mary's veil as her role as Queen of Heaven. So not sure how many of you have noticed that, but we have those. So we'll just start and kind of zip along with the windows here. This particular window is an example where there's one angel here, really just one, and the angel is taking part in the action. This is St. John the Divine receiving his revelation. Actually, there are two angels, I guess. There's sort of one in his revelation view, and then there's the angel who apparently was there, really sort of helping deliver this revelation. Angel wearing a crown and carrying a staff, and quite regal angel there. Lovely sort of romantic view here of an angel with a young boy. This was given in memory of a young boy, I believe, this window. This is the window that was smashed when the wrecking ball that was taking down the Albee Theater next door in the 1970s swung and came through this window. This window had to be remade. But again, a lovely sort of Victorian view of an angel, feminine, holding flowers, long dress. So one of our Easter windows, the text, "He is not here, he is risen," and we have, again, angels with thuribles. So this is one of my favorite windows. I counted the angel at the top, in the top center as an angel. It's a little hard to tell, but I believe those are wings. That would be sort of a decorative angel. And then we have the angels bearing the news that Christ is risen, and the wonderful text from Job there. And with, flourishing wings and beautiful bright colors and sort of in motion, angels in motion. Swinging those golden thuribles with smoke coming out. There's a lot of movement in that window. It's really wonderful. And this really is an angel window. The text, "He shall give his angels charge over thee." We've actually sung this text. It's set in Mendelssohn's wonderful oratorio, Elijah, for an 8-part choir. And this window is just bursting with angels, sort of all over the place, looking different directions, all with wings, looking devoted, looking strong, happy. It's again another favorite of mine. But if you like angels, see this window, and the wings are all different colors. It's so marvelous. No angels in this one. Again, another favorite here. This is the angels, the three Marys at the tomb looking for Christ, and the two really beautiful angels. This window was made in England, and it has a very English look. If you look at the faces of the figures, and the two angels saying, Jesus is not here. Why are you looking for somebody dead? Because he's not dead. And then again, musical angels. Back to our theme at the top, we have an angel playing a harp, an angel playing a trumpet, and an angel holding a banner. Crowning the top of this window. Many of the windows, as you can tell, and we'll talk more about this in a window tour, but the top third is sort of decorative. Then there's the principal scene, usually telling a story, and then often two scenes in the bottom section like that. That's what's going on here. But again, great angels. Just a few angels here, not particularly doing anything to do with the story. Just some decorative angels as part of the Gothic design at the top. This window is our newest window from 1929. Great colors. So not too many angels in that. Some great stories. We'll talk more about those. David can just show while we're here. We did talk about the paintings. Again, there are lots of angels up in the sky flitting about here. in this wonderful painting, which is a reproduction of the painting, but we won't go too much. I didn't count those in our number. And we're going to just step into the narthex. You probably know, and maybe you don't, there are two beautiful windows, newer windows here in the narthex, and each has a lovely musical angel. This window was given in memory of a former chorister, and is a musical window. There's someone playing the organ, there's a choir singing from a scroll, and at the top, a beautiful angel playing a lute. These windows you can get quite close to, so visit when you're in the church again, visit the narthex. And on this side, this tells the story of the laborers in the vineyard, but again at the top we have a musical angel playing another lute, or maybe would that be a zither type instrument at the top. So clearly some musical influence here. I'm just checking on something. David reminded me. Yes. So this may be the only time on a tour at Grace Church you go to the restroom, but there we'll stand outside the door. I had forgotten there's another lovely stained glass window in here, completely forgotten, and there is an angel. I'll point it out. Here we have St. Augustine. And we have an angel giving St. Augustine some direction there. You just never know what you're going to find. Here. So we're going to move back into the nave. And we're at the back corner of the nave here. This is our banner, our Grace Church banner, and it's a close-up of that central portion of the east window with Christ in Majesty. What you can see here that you can't see looking at the window, here are the angels swinging their thuribles, here are some looker-on angels, but then we have all these little cherub angels here, and angels at the top. I counted all of those. This window at the back of the nave here, I call this the brown window because there's a lot of brown in it, and it's really beautiful. You just don't think about brown as a color for stained glass, but there are really lots of brown. Again, angels not participating in the story itself, but at the top, angels situated on what look like beautiful altars, Gothic altars, and playing. Again, this angel is playing a lute, and this one I think maybe your eyesight's better. Is this angel banging cymbals together, maybe on the right? Something like that. And then up in the center of the top, 3 cherubs, winged cherubs. So this theme of angels playing music at Grace, you can imagine that's, makes me very happy, near and dear to my heart. St. John the Divine, writing his revelation, receiving his revelation and writing it down, topped off by an angel swinging, yet again, a thurible, this one with rubies in the side. So angels with musical instruments and angels with thuribles are a real theme here. And 2 very, very winged cherubs at the top with multiple wings. Sometimes angels almost are a little macabre sometimes, but I'll let you decide. This is our most famous window because it was created by Tiffany. This Tiffany Studios. What we don't know is did Tiffany himself design it or did one of his minions? I've seen lots of Tiffany windows, and I must be completely honest and tell you this is, I don't think the best Tiffany window I've seen, but it is by the Tiffany Studios. And we have angels sort of frolicking from heaven, looking a little bit like they've been sort of kicked out of heaven, sort of tumbling down. The vision of the New Jerusalem at the top. So there's Jerusalem, and there are the angels, little cherubs with their wings and carrying branches and hurtling down towards earth. And then, of course, this lovely Victorian angel on the left, not unlike the one we saw across the nave. This one I'll say a little bit more about the window itself. So we see 3 angels, one sort of in the field laboring, one with a sickle, and one holding wheat. This is one of my all-time favorite windows. The text, "Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the harvest is ripe." It's Revelation text. We did a concert a few years ago, the choir, based on texts found in these windows. And I got the idea based on this window. The composer Healy Willan, the Canadian composer Healy Willan, wrote a beautiful piece called "I Looked and Behold a White Cloud." And it's all about this story, about the final harvest. And the analogy is that the final harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. And the anthem ends, I get chills every time I talk about it, the anthem ends with a single treble or soprano voice saying, "The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers," I can't even say it, "the reapers are the angels." And that's this story. And we see these beautiful Victorian angels as the reapers in the field. This isn't angelic, but above it, marvelous fish scale style glass with the blues and the greens. So if you haven't visited this window, make sure you do. It's our oldest window. We'll talk lots more about that in the window tour, but no angels. Here again, we have angels, decorating the top, holding the crowns, like you do, for the people below that might need them. Charity and faith getting their crowns. We got angels holding on to the crowns. Another banner-bearing angel at the top. That seems to be a theme as well, even in these windows that were done at different times. Two angels sort of doing a job, and then one holding a banner, letting everybody know what's going on. And in our last nave window here, we have lots of angels. We have angels up at the top. This is sort of it's not just a Christmas window, though we have the nativity, so there are certainly angels at the manger scene, 3 angels with very sort of pointed wings, all in different colors. And then well above that at the top, there are angels again doing their thing, sort of guarding the scene, and then there's an angel in the center at the top, yet again holding a banner. This brings us to the Chapel of the Messiah, and there's actually only one angel represented in here, and David can follow me in. We'll take a look. This is again in the St. Matthew representation. So we have, in the Messiah Chapel, we have the 4 evangelists across the top, and then their symbols are below them, down near sort of altar level. And so here on the left, we have St. Matthew's winged angel. So we do get one angel here in the Messiah Chapel. And I'm going to include this, even though this isn't attached. This came from the Church of the Messiah, and it's really one of the loveliest things I've seen. It's such beautiful carving, and it's an angel functioning as a lectern. The angel is holding up the book rack with his or her arms. Gorgeous folds of the vestment. The angel's wearing actually looks like a vestment, and beautifully carved wings. David, get in close there. This was brought from Messiah and was in a storage room, and so we brought it out and we've put it on wheels. And when we have our Wednesday noon Eucharist, when we are able to do that again, and we meet in this area, we roll this out, and this is what we use for the Eucharist. So it's near the Messiah Chapel, so sort of back where it should be. So we'll count that, even though it's actually not attached. That's the only non-attached thing. And then perhaps our greatest glory of angels is our mural on the chancel arch. Very difficult to see. I'm just going to pass by David and grab my cheat sheet here. We've shown you this, and we've attached pictures, and we have some good close-up pictures of this, thanks to the wonderful photographer Brian Kuttner. And we will attach those to this video so you can see them close. David's going to let you get a broader view. I'll sort of follow you and talk, and then we can take a look here. What we know about the mural is less than what we don't know. We've basically pinpointed that the mural was done probably around 1890, 1892. In our history book, there is record of a broad-scale redecoration of the church, but it doesn't go into detail about what the redecoration involved. We have a picture from 1870, and it was not there. But we also have a picture from around 1900, and it is there. So it predated the Cram edition of the chancel. So the mural went on to the chancel arch in the original Upjohn building. So we think around 1890, 1892. Now murals were common at that time, common just in that many churches were doing this sort of Victorian decoration. Again, marvelous theme of these beautiful, beautiful angels, all playing musical instruments. I can look at it and talk about it at the same time. So we have angels playing trumpets, and angels playing violins, and angels playing harps. And then at the base of Christ in Majesty, again, two angels swinging thuribles. So again, our overarching theme: angels with thuribles, angels with musical instruments, and a beautiful, large Christ in Majesty, probably life size, and maybe even a little bit bigger if you got up there. And then I don't know how close, David, you got in. Like our chancel window, actually there are a lot of similarities. It's interesting. Like our chancel window, lots of little singing cherub heads. This is a cherub choir. They all have their mouths open. So I think they're singing, and these folks are all playing. And I'll put money on the fact that they're singing the Te Deum. That would be my guess. And the flaming thuribles here below. So we actually have had some conversations. We have a couple of parishioners working on this project to investigate the cleaning and restoration of this wonderful mural, and perhaps some appropriate lighting so we could see it from the church itself. The mural is painted, and actually, David, let's move back up. We'll finish up here. The mural is painted on canvas, and the canvas was then put onto the wall. And you can see that in an interesting spot. So this is the wall below where the mural starts, and you can actually see the canvas. You can see the cloth nature of the canvas there as it's peeling away. So this whole canvas was put on, and then the angel mural was painted onto that. I assume it was painted, that the canvas went on and then the mural was painted. But it could have been the other way, that the mural was painted and then it was put on the wall. So our summary of our angels. In the chancel we had 32 in the windows, we had 6 carved, 2 in tile. In the nave there were 2 carved, plus the lectern. We had 44 angels represented in the windows, 3 in the narthex. I had 2 here, but 3 in the narthex. And there are 36 angels in the mural itself, including the cherub heads. So for a total, I think we're up to about 125 angels here in Grace Church. Many playing instruments, many swinging thuribles. So these angels were not just standing around. They were busy doing wonderful things. And it brings to mind the great hymn of the church, the Te Deum, "To thee all angels cry aloud." And when you're here next, I hope that you can drink in some of this angel beauty and see for yourself maybe some that you haven't noticed before. But do know that when you're here at Grace Church, you are surrounded by the angels, and hopefully that will help get us all through this crazy time. We look forward to another tour soon where we'll detail the windows in the nave, and until then, stay safe and well, and we will see you soon.